Have you ever been told that change has to be explosive, that transformation demands massive action, that you need to burn the boats and dive headfirst into the unknown? That is a lie sold to you by a society obsessed with shortcuts, quick dopamine hits, and the fantasy of overnight success. The truth is far older, far quieter, and far more powerful. Real change, the kind that builds unshakable freedom, true mastery, and a life of profound meaning, happens through Kaizen, through continuous patient, deliberate improvement, so small and so steady that most people miss it entirely. Let me tell you a story the system does not want you to understand. In the quiet village of Ojimi, where the average age stretches beyond 90, a man named Hiroshi spent his days shaping clay. By the age of 93, Hiroshi's pottery adorned nearly every home in the village. Every bowl, every teapot, every vase was a masterpiece, smooth, powerful, flawless. But here is the part that should make you stop and think. Hiroshi's hands trembled. He was not the superhuman icon you are told you must be before achieving greatness. He was an old man, humble, imperfect, and yet his work radiated a perfection no machine, no factory, no government program could ever replicate. Every single day, Hiroshi would rise not to rush, not to conquer, but to refine. He would sit before his wheel in the morning light, shaping the wet clay with a patience so deep it could shame the loudest Silicon Valley disruptor. Each pot was a tiny revolution, a slight improvement. A curve just a little smoother, a glaze a shade bolder. When the kiln cracked, and others might have cursed fate, Hiroshi simply adapted. He studied the fracture, learned from it, and made his craft even stronger. Small steps carve mountains, he would whisper to a young potter watching wide-eyed. Hiroshi was not just making pots, he was making himself. And his Kaizen was not limited to his craft. Each morning, he lit incense at his butsudan, offering quiet thanks for clay for kin, for the breath still filling his lungs. He joined the village in radio taiso, simple stretching exercises, where he chose to master just one stretch a week, refining his body as he refined his mind. He shared tea with his lifelong circle of friends, weaving joy into their conversations. Tweaking each story to bring more laughter, a tiny art of connection sharpened day after day. This was not some Instagrammable miracle morning. This was disciplined, soulful rebellion against decay, against chaos, against the idea that you had to hustle yourself into an early grave to be worthy of happiness. While the world sprinted toward burnout, Hiroshi carved his own steady path. One quiet pot, one careful breath, one shared laugh at a time. And when the village fair came around, Hiroshi's pots sold out. Not because he shouted the loudest or spammed ads across the internet, but because his quiet excellence was undeniable. The people could feel it in every touch of clay, every glint of glaze, every curve shaped by decades of love and discipline. Here is the principle that changes everything. Small habits refined daily create lasting transformation. Incremental progress, no matter how tiny, compounds into something unstoppable. Focus on the rituals, the daily actions, the consistent upgrades, not just the distant glittering goals society dangles before you like bait. Because goals can crumble, but rituals make you bulletproof. The Okinawans understood this intuitively. They did not name it Kaizen, but they lived it. Gardening daily, moving gently through radio taizo, gathering often to celebrate small wins. Their lives were slow, rhythmic, almost invisible to a world obsessed with speed. But hidden in that slowness was their invincibility. It was not hype or hustle that made them live longer and happier than almost anyone else. It was the tiny daily revolutions, the slow carving of a magnificent mountain called life. So I ask you, what are you doing today that your future self will thank you for? Will you continue chasing empty promises sold to you by corporations, politicians, and the fake gurus of modern hustle culture? Or will you reclaim your power and start your own quiet, unstoppable rebellion? One small act of refinement, one deliberate ritual, one breath of gratitude at a time. You already know the answer. Now it is time to live it. If you are ready to break free from the lies and reclaim your mind, your time, your future, smash that subscribe button right now. Your revolution starts today, and it starts small.